You're tuned into one of the internet's best heavy metal radio shows, DJ JD's Metallicave.
All right, Metallicave live here, craniumradio.com, where the metal flows 24/7 with the rock and more. We're hanging out here with our metal friends and our metal family here on Cranium. I am lucky enough right now to have Pure Steel recording artist Axemaster on the phone. What's going on, guys?
Hey, man, what's happening?
Man, it's so good to have you guys on the show finally. It's been I saw you guys down in, I believe it was Maryland.
Delaware.
Delaware. You guys were part of HoloFest, correct?
Yep. Yeah, first two years out there, and then it moved to Cleveland.
Yes, yeah, and I think I saw you both the years, man. I was down there with Steve and hanging out, and it was just you guys killed it, man. You guys are phenomenal. I love you guys.
Thanks, man. Awesome. Thank you.
So what have you guys been up to, man? Why don't you introduce yourselves, and then we'll talk. We'll see what's going on.
Okay, I'm Joe Sims. I play lead guitar. I'm Jeff McGraw. I'm the vocalist. Chris Longstreet, bass player.
And Chris is the newest member, so this is his first interview with the band.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fuck with him, the newbie. I'm the noob. Yep.
Well, that's good, man. Well, welcome to the family.
Right on.
So tell me, guys, I mean, what's been going on? I mean, I know with all this quarantine and there's a lot of, slow time. What have you guys been doing? You guys working on new stuff? What's up?
That's all I've been doing. Every night is working on new material. I mean, an album by us is way overdue. There's been a lot of shuffling around of band members and, working on that and doing some shows that I never got a chance to really organize all the riffs I've written and put together stuff and write new stuff. And that's all I've been doing during this stay-at-home Corona shit.
Oh, it's been crazy, right? But good. That's awesome. I mean, I hear a lot of bands doing the same thing, because with this downtime, even Overkill just posted. I mean, they just came out with a new album recently, and they're almost ready for another one with all the downtime,
Yeah, I mean, I just got the CD in the mail today from Joe with 8 or 9 new tracks on it demos that I'm going to be taking a listen to. So who knows? Maybe we'll have enough for 2 albums. Yeah, Joe's I'm just about done with the 9th one.
Fantastic. And you guys have been, I mean, Axemaster as a band, has it been like your demos were 1983-ish, 1984, correct?
85.
Okay, 85. So
unless you count that little thing that I did in high school that I don't know how the hell it got onto these different disc sites. It wasn't even a real release. I just made it myself and Xeroxed the cover at Kinko's and gave it to my friends, and somehow it became like a release.
Well, I think back then, that's
mostly what happened back then.
Yeah, then. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that there was no internet, there was nothing like that. So trading CDs was the way to do it. And what was that? Was that the Heirs to Revolution? Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was like 10, 12 songs that I wrote, and I played everything on other than drums. I sang and I sucked.
Wow, you must have been like 7 years old.
No, actually, I started on that when I was like 16, and because I always wrote my own songs. My first show was when I was 14, and 2/3 of the songs we played were original tracks, and I still remember a couple of them.
Holy shit, man, that's freaking awesome. So, but as a band, like the band itself, how many years have you been around? Like, when was the first real Axemaster release?
85.
That was something you released, to your friends, like unsigned underground stuff?
It was actually packaged, and that's what got us our record deal. It was Slave to the Blade. I'm not sure how many tracks were on that. It's like 6, I think. 6? Yeah, I've got a copy. But interestingly enough, they still pop up every now and then, here and there. Although if you see them on eBay from Russia, they're fake.
Isn't that crazy? Who would have thought, right? Like when you were younger and 16 and 17 years old, that there would be bootlegging shit in Russia of Axemaster. Right?
Yeah, love it. Yeah, I remember Jeff when he first joined the band back in, 14? 12. Was it that early? Yeah, 14 is when we went to play Chicago. Right. I moved back to this area in 2011, and then so 2012 was when I ended up auditioning and joining. Yeah, because I remember you saying right after you joined that you knew it was something when you saw your picture and your name in a Chinese website.
No, it was Cyrillic Russian.
Cyrillic? Was it? Okay.
To be precise.
Here you are, 2020. You have a bunch of CDs out. You're with Pure Steel Records now. You're working on new material. I mean, for the fans that are out there listening, how many songs can you maybe expect on the new release?
I personally would like to try for 10.
10 solid.
Yeah, we did a few more than that for the Overture to Madness CD, and then we did we do 10 for Crawling?
Well, if you include Damon's Mystify the Dream Hypnotic, we did 10.
I conclude that, yeah.
Very cool.
So, yeah, 10 tracks on that one. So 10, yeah, that sounds probably about right.
And have you guys ever released on vinyl?
Yeah, our first real full-length release on Azra Records back in '86 was on vinyl. And then Pure Steel did a collectible double vinyl release of stuff from Blessing in the Sky, Slave to the Blade, and Five Demons. But they only made like 200. They only printed like 200 of them, I think, to make it collectible.
I love
There's also a whole bunch of shaped picture discs from back in the
Oh, yeah. The Vision. There's all these picture discs that I didn't even know existed. Azra Records did them without even bothering to tell us.
How crazy is that? How crazy
And when I first got the internet, the first few years I got the internet, I discovered like all these records with different pictures. There's like 4 of them.
Oh, my God.
We never even knew about them.
Damn record companies.
I found the dude, the owner of that record company on eBay, and I wrote to him, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? And he's like, oh, let me get you a free copy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that makes up for everything.
Yeah. From all the 250 copies he sold at $20 a pop, right?
Yeah, because he was selling off all his old stock of all the different bands and stuff, and they had some really good bands on that label. Either they had Azra, Metal Storm, and Ironworks were the 3 different labels in the same actual company. They had like Liege Lord, Death Angel, Jag Panzer. We're all on that label.
Holy shit, that's awesome. Yeah, I love Jag Panzer, man.
One time when I hung out with Tracy Guns, he was telling me they distributed the first LA Guns demo.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, I love vinyl, man. I love vinyl. I collect vinyl. Don't get me wrong. I love CDs. I love CDs too, but there's nothing like the vinyl where you have, your 12-inch and the cover art is like big. You can see the details and shit like that. I just love that kind of stuff, man. As a metal fan, it's the way it is.
I am there.
Yeah, I'll third that.
Chris, what did you think of that double album?
Oh, that was cool. So once I joined the band, I didn't realize the legacy when I joined. I kind of heard about the band through my friend who was the drummer at the time, and we started hanging out and jamming, and they needed a bass player and ended up joining, and then I was blown away, to be honest, by the legacy, and just such a cool band. I didn't know about it. I got to be honest. I didn't know about the band, and I've spent the last few months. I've been in since September, and I've been getting to know everything and the history, and it's awesome. So one day we were in conversation at Joe's, and it came up that they had a record, and I begged Joe. I'm like, Joe, I love vinyl, man. You got to give me a copy. And he gave me that double album of Blessings in the Sky. And
oh wow.
I jam it out. I love it. It's like a little trophy I have at the house. Mm-hmm. It's pretty damn cool.
I think it's great for bands too when they come out with vinyl. I think it's a big deal. I think for the first time you see yourself on vinyl, it's got to be overwhelming. Like holy shit. Like I kind of made it.
For me, it was a big deal having a double record. Because I remember one of my first tastes of rock and metal being Kiss Alive.
Oh yeah.
And that double even though, it's obviously not live, it just kind of was like, yeah, man, I'm on a damn double record, man. Fucking cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I keep hoping that they will do a special release of either Overture or Crawling on vinyl, because that would be my first vinyl.
What would be cool, maybe after this new album comes out, once we get this going, I could ask Pure Steel if they would be interested in doing like a best of the 3 albums on vinyl.
And that would be cool too.
I mean, you guys have the catalog to do a best of, which is phenomenal. And like the bonus tracks, throw in some demo shit, back from the days with when you did the early stuff, back in 1985.
actually, there's a couple on that vinyl. A song called "Heretical Valor" that we recorded live.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the show that it was recorded from happened during a blizzard, and there was nobody showed up. I mean, I couldn't hardly even get home.
That always happens, always bullshit when there's a record release. You get excited for it for months, and then there's a hurricane, there's a snowstorm,
Well, actually, we didn't even know it was being recorded. They actually got a good recording off the board, because most of the time when you get a recording off the board, it's mixed all funky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Because it's for the stage and for the listeners. It's not for the headphone listeners. You know what I'm saying? It's for the listeners at the venue. So, question for you. I mean, where are you guys located? Are you all pretty much in the same area now?
Yeah, pretty much. Between Akron and Cleveland.
Okay, so that's cool. And that's where so Hollow Fest, I don't know if they changed it to Pure Steel Records Fest happened over there, right, as well?
It's still Pure Steel Hollow Fest.
Oh, okay.
It kind of was then too, but the Hollow Fest was the emphasis on the original 2 years.
Yeah, because we played the last one, and Sleepy Hollow wasn't. I don't even think they're around anymore.
Oh wow. Well, hey, shit happens.
I don't know about that, but
you know what? People don't realize that the career of a rock band and a metal band, it's not easy. So bands do drop off after a while, after not getting maybe the attention that they're looking for or the recognition, But you guys have been around for a while, and I think you still get that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just doing it because it's just what I do. I just love it. Writing music, playing music, it's everything to me. And I couldn't stop. I mean, I've actually tried to stop a few times over the years. And it depressed me so bad, I couldn't do it.
There's no way. For doing it for so long, it's like even if you just want to pick up your guitar and just start jamming on your own and just start practicing, and you start writing riffs, you're like, God damn it, I wrote another riff for Axemaster.
Hey, you didn't happen to catch that little coronavirus concert I did you? Didn't you?
No, I missed it. I mean, is it still on Facebook?
It's on YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I'll post the link up after the show and let everybody check it out.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, it felt like, you were connecting when you couldn't connect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of bands are trying to do that. We had a band on here a couple weeks ago, The Reckoning, from Canada, and they were they cut their screen on Facebook into 4. And they each had their instrument, and they
no shit.
Yeah. I don't know how they did it. I think they did it at 4 different times and just put the video together. But it was really cool for quarantine times, It gave the fans something instead of the same old,
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of that.
I was hoping that, it wouldn't be like 2 people would show up, but actually I was pretty happy with how many people checked it out.
That's fucking, well, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's all about promoting it, right? I mean, especially during this time, what you did, I think that's a great idea, man.
This sucks right now being tied in, but I'll tell you, I think afterwards it's going to be concert crazy. People are going to, when the green light is there, and it may take a little while, I think we're going to get into a new renaissance of playing live shows and just that the whole atmosphere getting out again too.
Actually, I think so. Bands like us will be able to play before the huge bands will, because to play in front of 500 people at a club is a lot different than 15, 20,000. They might allow, some of these smaller club shows where they wouldn't allow the big venue.
Well, I hope so, because I don't want to wait till 2021 for a club show. That's going to kill me.
I know. Me too.
The thing that really freaked me out about that was what I had heard was they were talking 2022.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
For large groups.
Listen, I'm willing to wear a mask during the show. I don't give a shit. I just want my medal.
Hey, wearing a mask is kind of metal anyway, right?
It is, man. You gotta get some.
Make Axemaster masks,
I was just gonna say that you got to get some Axemaster masks and put them on and tell everybody, hey, listen, our next show, everybody throw them on, man.
I just bought a Walking Dead one this week.
Oh, did you? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the ones that I ordered, and it's been almost a month.
Yeah. You'll get them in August when all this shit dies down.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. I mean, we're gonna play 10,000 Pound Hammer. How did that come about?
Well, as far as the music goes, it was just jamming with a friend. It wasn't even with the band.
Oh, wow.
I was jamming with a friend, and that's where I came up with 2 of the main riffs of the song.
It's all about the riff.
Yeah, and then he brought it to practice one night, and I don't even remember if we listened to it before, but I think we just started jamming with it, and I sat on the steps and started writing the lyrics. So I think we wrote that all in one, go kind of thing.
That's cool. But that's the way I think that's how the best songs are written. When you're together, the riffs are there, but you're there for the first time listening to like the bare bones of it, and then it turns out, even sometimes by the end of the night, it's like, holy shit, what did we do tonight?
Yeah, I write the best when I'm, a lot of times, like when I write riffs, I'm the best just kind of messing around on the guitar and coming up with shit out of nowhere. But what I like to do is record all that. Like, I made these demos with a click track, and then everybody put in their 2 cents. I like this part, I don't like that part, we need to change these parts around, arrange it differently, stuff like that. That way, it gets the best of both worlds, because I'm able to write the riffs on my own, but the songs are actually put together by everybody, which is going to be hard now.
But the first time you guys get together, it's going to be absolutely awesome.
Oh, God, it will.
Well, maybe the second time we get together.
I don't think we should record them before we get the opportunity to work them in person.
Yeah, you guys are going to come out with Master of Puppets, for God's sakes.
There you go.
Well,
I hope not, because that one's already been done.
Oh yeah, well, Axemaster of Puppets. How about that?
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
But that's cool, and I really enjoy. I like Sanity's Requiem. I love the song. It's got they're both songs are different, but they're so good each in their own way. So tell me a little bit about that. Like, how did that one become the song that it is?
Well, for all the stuff off Overture to Madness, we had the stuff already written and recorded musically pretty much before Jeff joined.
Yeah, it was all pretty much done. Joe had the tracks more or less all together. I mean, I don't remember if we changed anything in that one. There were a few things that we flip-flopped around. But that was, I'm pretty sure that was one of the songs that, between that and Forsaken, Forsaken was the one I auditioned with, but there were a couple of songs on that album, and I think Sanities was one of them where I just was immediately taken by it, and it flowed for me.
It's important for the listeners too. I mean, fans, they want that song where it's like the riff catches them, and then it's just like it pulls them into the song. And that song has it. One of my favorites.
Like Jeff has listened to a couple of the demos that I've done, and there were a couple tracks that he said, this riff I don't think is really happening, and other riffs might be in that. And actually, in both instances, I wrote new stuff for it, and I think that it sounds 10 times better than what I had originally done. It's kind of like the producer kind of thing, hey, dude, you could do better. And I never have a problem with somebody saying, hey, I don't really dig that.
Does that mean they get producer's credit?
Yeah, we'll give you producer credit, Jeff. Hell, you should get it for donating all this stuff to the studio.
That's awesome. Fans in the chat room want to know, and I want to know as a fan, what's the ETA for the new album? Are we talking a year?
Put the pressure on. I like this.
Yeah, I honestly,
it's hard with not being able to get together.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
totally.
I would kind of hope so, but I guess it will all depend on how it all comes out. I mean, we're so early in this process.
Yeah, true.
Technically, there's 2 songs on these demos that we've been messing with for about a year.
I feel like a dick for putting you on the spot.
No. Hey, if I had my way, I'd say, hey, by the end of the year. Well, and then you got to remember, it's not just a matter of getting it recorded. It's a matter of pure steel, getting it pressed, and the artwork, and all the other things that go into it. And that takes some time.
Yeah, I know bands. I've dealt with a band that is signed by Pure Steel Records, and they're a good company, and they do a great job pressing it and doing they do a good job.
Yeah, one of the things I've been really happy with when we're talking about the art is in each of these circumstances we've been able to choose and arrange for our own art. So that's a big bonus too.
Yeah,
the one was a a lucky break.
Yeah, we won't get into that one, but
no, that was a freak out, spastic kind of thing. Get it now.
yeah. Sanities was a little unusual, but I mean, when talking about getting art and then having the last minute have to do something else to get it, but we got a real good guy in Spain by the name of Noel Puente who did crawling for us.
Oh, nice.
And I had found him through
True Metal
website
Lives?
through True Metal Lives, because he did the covers for their compilation CDs. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's great. He also does work for his own band, Abductum. And I kind of look at him and I see, and I saw at the time I saw this guy as kind of like, a throwback to the 80s when you had, all the really cool artsy covers from Megadeth and Toxic and all that stuff.
They're satisfied with the answer in the chat room, so we'll say at least a year and a half, maybe a little bit more. It depends on when this bullshit's all over with, but hey man, I'm looking forward to it. I really am, because I love the last release. I thought it was done so well. The production is solid as a rock, and just a phenomenal album in its entirety. I really need to go back and check the stuff out from 1985 with the demos and all that stuff. I'm sure I could find it, but
it's all over YouTube.
Oh, well then that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna check all that stuff out. And if you want to send me some stuff, I'd be more than happy then to throw it into the catalog and to play it here on the Metallicave.
Oh yeah,
man, it's just great having bands that need to be heard. You know what I'm saying? It's just very important to me. Very important.
Yes.
And I'll tell you one thing. This is just me talking. Everybody's got their own opinion and stuff like that. But this stuff that I've written and I'm in the process of writing, I think is some of the best stuff I've ever come up with.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
That's
just from top to bottom. There are there are a couple of songs like Epic off Overture to Madness and Crawling Chaos. The song that I'm really super proud of, but just from A to Z, I think that this stuff has the potential to be maybe the best stuff I've ever written.
That's fucking awesome, and that's what fans want to hear, man. You just see that you're teasing them for a year and a half, you son of a bitch.
That's right.
That's
your new name.
Other people might, I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion. I'm just saying some of the guitar stuff that I've come up with is some of the coolest I've ever come up with.
Well, that's awesome, man. I can't wait to hear it. Have you played Jersey before?
No.
Oh, babe, we got to get you here. I know some other local Pure Steel record acts. We'll get you guys together. We'll get a show going on here on the East Coast. I'm sure Metal Maiden Vicky, who's a big supporter of Pure Steel and the bands, she's tuned in tonight.
I love her.
Yeah, she's tuned in tonight. She's the best. She is absolutely the best. I'm sure she'll be a part of it with me. We'll work together, and we'll have a phenomenal.
She was the MC. Awesome. She was the MC at the first Hollow Fest.
Yes, she was. Yep.
She brought her dad to that show.
I remember. That was
pretty cool too.
Man,
he was awesome, man. He was probably in his 70s or something. He was digging on it and shit.
Yeah. Well, that's good. See where she gets it from, man. Again, I love you guys, and I thank you so much for calling in tonight. And don't be strangers, man. Say, hey, Jerry, send me a message anytime you want and say, hey, can we call in? We want to announce something, or we want to talk about something, or we want to debut a song off the new album. I mean, now, look, I know Vicky's got first dibs on it. I'm not going to say anything. But, hey, give me second dibs. I'll take second dibs, man. Awesome. And I thank you guys so much, man.
It's an honor to be on. We always appreciate people who want to hear the bullshit we have to say.
Hey, it's important. I think, you know what? It's nice that look, Metallica's awesome, Slayer, Anthrax, all these bands, they're all phenomenal. But it's the unsigned underground bands that are so important, that really need to be heard. It's an honor and a privilege for bands like you guys to call in here and to just get that word out, man. You guys are badass, and I thank you. Thank you for being a part of the Metallicave here on Cranium Radio, man. It's an honor and a privilege.
Our pleasure, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
You want to announce You want to announce 10,000 Pound Hammer? Bring it on.
Oh, let me do this one. It's been so long.
It's hammer time.
Hammer, yeah, bring it down, man.
Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this one is 10,000 Pound Hammer by Axemaster. Turn it up, rip the knob off, and throw the horns.